Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies. I'm Raven.
And I'm Kelly, and I need to fix my bangs because they were like this when I saw you posted on Instagram, and my bangs were like all weird. And I was like, fuck, I really need to pay more attention to what my appearance looks like on these stupid videos. And my bangs were like all weird. Okay, my name is Kelly, and today we are going to talk about Memories of Merrick by Kylie Snow. We're going to start with our no spoiler summary. Memories of Merrick is the newest release in the Octation Chronicles that reveals the 43 days during Sins of Silas when Merrick and Arabella were trapped and missing. This spicy novella is a must-read and focuses on these two characters' point of view and reveals why you may or may not want to hate Arabella as much as you may have at the end of Sins of Silas.
You have to have read them. I mean, you can't. We interviewed her and we read her first two, Lies of Lena, Sins of Silas. So this is the third one, and you have to read the other ones in order to get this, but it's so good.
This is not a standalone.
No,
Raven is correct. You will not understand this book unless you have read the first two.
it will be nothing but a spice cest if you read this. Just that's all you're getting. Um,
Yeah, also I'm not sure their relationship will make that much sense unless you
no,
have read Sins of Silas.
not even,
Um
not
and
even a little.
Sins of Silas won't make any sense unless you've read Lies of Lena, so uh,
Trigger warnings.
so many.
Guess what? I'm gonna have to post them on here because there is not an official list yet.
Oh, on her website.
Yeah,
Mm.
it says PTSD and like some stuff, but there's a lot of sex, um, anal.
I think there's anal in all her books.
Well, I mean, the last part of that when she was like, "Fuck this, get in that room." I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." It was beautiful. It was great. It was so freaking brave. Ugh, brave
Um
girl.
okay, so I liked Merrick a lot
Hmm.
in Sins of Silas, and I was really glad that he got his own book. I think we even asked her on in our interview podcast, like, are we going to find out what happened in those 43 days? So I was really excited that that's what this book was about. Um, I have to say, the first handful of chapters, I had a hard time kind of getting into it. And then I felt like it really hit its pace and it got way better. But it's almost like, and I don't know, you can tell me your opinion about this, but I really feel like she spent a long time on like certain parts of the book, and then the other parts kind of I felt like needed more editing.
I definitely felt the editing part on some of the stuff. I was like, maybe it was kind of rushed, but maybe not. I mean, it definitely there's several times when I was like editing could have used a little bit more work. Um,
Yeah, like I feel like Kylie has such a great voice, and like there was like a chunk in the middle that was like, this is why I love her writing. But then,
mhm.
kind of in the beginning and the end, it kind of felt a little weird. Like she wasn't, it didn't sound,
Well, in the beginning of it, it kind of felt like the beginning of Lies of Lena. I mean, you're picking up on a whole different setting and pace with two different characters. I mean, it's
but
not,
characters that we already know. They're not new. We know them. We know their
but we
backstory.
don't know them like we've been learning about.
but Merrick, I had some point of view chapters in Sins of Silas. I don't know. I was just
Yeah.
like, there was like a few chapters in the beginning where I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like this, but then it did get better. So if you feel like that in the first few chapters, just keep going, is I guess my point.
I didn't have any issues, which is weird.
Um, yeah. And I mean, there's a part of me that wishes this was a little bit longer
Same.
too, but I I have a feeling the reason that she did it this way, and she said something to this in the author's note in the back of the book,
I
is
read it.
that okay.
Well,
Um,
I never read past the epilogue. I don't even read the epilogue. So,
anyway, so Kylie had said something in the author's note at the end of the book that this will probably be her last independent release, which is great for her. And it's probably why she wrote a novella instead of a full novel, because she's probably focusing on the re-release of the first two
hmm.
slash the next books in the series for the traditionally published. So, congratulations, Kylie. I'm so excited for you. You
And
deserve it.
we were her first podcast interview.
Um, yeah, so I really like the series and I'm really excited for what's going to come next. And um, she has mentioned on her social media that she has done some Roland writing. So I'm excited to see if Roland's going to have some POVs in the next book, or we're going to get a Roland book. Um, but yeah, these characters live in my mind and I think about them all the time.
So, so at the end, when she was like, obviously, I'm not going to kill him off. Oh, spoiler. Big spoilers. Um,
Oh,
I had a,
Merrick.
yeah, I had a feeling he wasn't going to be gone, but I
I
actually,
totally forgot that he died slash didn't die.
oh, I didn't want to keep reading the book because I knew that that was going to happen. I remember
I
that
totally
happening.
forgot. I read so many books this year that I totally forgot. This is why I'm glad I did a Quicksilver reread and why I'm really glad that I'm doing a Servant of Earth reread. I'm almost done with Servant of Earth, by the way. And we can talk about that a little bit next. But part of me is like, oh, maybe I should have done a Citizens of Silas reread because I totally forgot Merrick died.
Well,
But I did remember Arabella's horrible, like, what is that called? Betrayal. And now that we know that she didn't do it on purpose, it makes me feel a little bit better. Because I was starting to really like her in Sins of Silas, and then she betrayed all of them, and I was like, what the fuck, girl? What the
mhm.
fuck?
I want to know how he tracked her. I don't remember them
Has to do
saying.
with the headaches.
I
Something
know,
to do with the
yeah.
headaches, right? Like he put something in her, like a demon or I don't know, a spell, or I don't know what necromancers do, but he had to have done something because she's getting all these weird ass headaches all the time. It has to
At
do it has to have to do with
at
that.
one point I was like, she's pregnant. She's pregnant.
The headaches? Oh,
I don't know.
interesting.
I thought she was pregnant and she was sleeping. I remember that. And then even Merrick was like pointing out how she looks really rough, like she's not getting sleep and all this stuff. And
Interesting. I don't know why pregnancy is never my first thought. Everyone's like, remember when everyone's like, Violet's pregnant. And I was like, where did you get that from? Pregnancy is like never my first thought ever. I don't know why, but it's just not.
it
And
is,
so I never thought that Arabella was pregnant, but that would really fucking sucks for Lena and Silas. That would make me sad if Arabella was pregnant and for Merrick because obviously he's madly in love with her.
but he's not dead.
And he's not dead.
Oh,
Thank
thank
God.
God. Ha!
I do. I I mean, one of the reasons I was always rooting for Merrick and Arabella is because I'm obviously rooting for Lena and Silas. And so I want Arabella to have like not a horrible, she's not a horrible person. So I'm like, okay, I want her to have a happy ending. If her husband's going to go end up with this person,
She deserves a happy ending.
she deserves a happy ending. And Merrick is great and he's madly in love with her. And there's
Oh,
obviously some intense connection there. Um, because she does it, because I don't think do they call it fated mates? They call it something, right? Forgot what you called it.
uh,
Lena and
I know that
Silas.
I know I faded. I would just say it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. It's just like faded or something. They're faded.
Okay. The other thing is, because Merrick is cousins with the other guy that I can't remember the name off the top of my head,
Torin, Torin.
Torin. I I really like Torin and I know that he's in love with Lena and I want Torin to have a happy ending. I'm like, okay, I am obviously a happy ending person because I'm like, Torin needs a happy ending, Roland needs a happy ending, Arabella needs a happy ending. Who are all these people gonna go with? Because right now Kylie is ripping all of our hearts out and killing off and torturing and all of these characters
Separating. Oh my God.
separating.
It is it is giving me severe anxiety and OCD because they're all just dispersed. I don't know who's dead. I don't know who's alive. I don't know who loves who.
And right now, the internet is up in arms, side note, about some stuff that Rebecca Yarros has been saying about,
We'll talk about that later. I don't want to talk about that on the memories of Merrick because we can go on about the that stuff.
will you just let me finish my thought?
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Stop interrupting me. Uh, Um, so right now the internet is up in arms about something that Rebecca Yarros has said about Xaden. And I just don't know, even though I love my authors. I love my trauma. I love whatever. I'm just not sure I'll ever. How do these authors sit there and be like, I'm going to rip everybody's heart out and just do something terrible to these characters that everybody loves? I'm like, how do they do it? Do they just be like, they write this story, and then they're like, and now we're going to go back and do the opposite? And how do they do it? I don't get it. How do they rip our hearts out?
Well, that's my goal for a book is to just make people cry.
See, but my initial whatever is to write this happy story. So for me, I'm like, do they write the happy story and then they go back and they're like, okay, now I have to do the opposite of everything I just wrote. And then they just start slashing characters and making them do the opposite of what we want them to do. Like, how do they do it?
So,
That is my question.
so like Alchemized, I was so emotional and there's so much distraught and destruction.
Yeah, so
And I'm kind of sad that it ended all super happy sappy. Like I
it
wouldn't
absolutely did not end happy sappy.
they
Take
ended
that
up
back.
together and
And fucking traumatized.
yeah, but they're together and they have a baby and they're on some freaking island and
Looking
over their
over their
shoulder.
shoulder and being footnotes in history as like the absolute greatest villain of all time or completely useless, had nothing to do with the war. In fact, they were the war. Okay, you cannot sit there with a straight face and tell me that that ending
To
is like a
me, it
happy ending, because every single person on the internet right now is posting, and I said this before on the Alchemized podcast, and I know we said we were going to focus on Memories of Merrick, but on the Alchemized podcast, I said that there's a bunch of people that are posting basically like that last sentence of the book,
mhm.
that she was a non-acting member, and how that was like one of the best lines of a book. Like that will go down as one of the best lines,
Hmm.
top 20 lines of a book of all time. And I don't care, just like you can come at me, but it is. And um and how fucking like it just ruins you. So you cannot tell me that was a happy ending with that line as being the ending of the book.
To me, a happy ending is when nobody is dead, widowed, or a happy ending is when they get to be together. That is for me, the gist of a happy ending is when they get to be together. Yeah, there's some lots of trauma, but I'm glad Merrick's alive. That's all. I'm just glad. I'm just glad because if I would have lost Merrick, mhm. And I mean, I even don't want to lose Arabella, but I'm kind of what is it? Ulrich? Ulrich? I don't know how to say his name because I don't didn't listen. Ulrich, what's his name?
I read the books too. I don't know who you're talking about. You're talking about the king?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's Ulrich. I don't think there is an audiobook for these.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I like that there's a lot of characters in this series.
I think it's hard to do and to write side characters and a cast of characters that is done where the characters are done well and they're multifaceted and they're not just flat. And I think that's one of the reasons that people really, really love Throne of Glass. I know you haven't read the series. I'm still working through it, but I haven't picked up Kingdom of Ash in like 3 weeks. But that's the last one in the series, and I am like 300 pages into the 1,000-page tome that it is. Um, I think it's one of the pe reasons that people really love Throne of Glass is because the characters that she wrote, there are so many of them that are so well written versus like the main characters are flushed out in their whole 360-degree characters, but the side characters are sometimes very one-dimensional
Mhm.
versus like the characters in Throne of Glass are very multi-layered. So many of them are multi-layered, and I think that's why people love it so much because it's done well. And I think that Kylie is kind of on that, you know, as the books are getting released, more, the characters are getting more and more layers to them, and it's not just Lena and Silas, but like now we have Merrick that, and then and Roland is starting to kind of get more to him, and Arabella's, very fleshed
I
out character.
I I definitely forgot about Edmund
Yeah, Merrick's little sister's
Boo
boyfriend.
thing,
Yeah.
which is really cute. Oh, I love her. But I don't, honestly, I don't remember what happened to everybody at the end. I do know that Merrick died. Edmund, I think, dies. Silas dies, supposedly. I hope
Yeah, he
nobody
gets
dies.
stabbed. Yeah.
The piercings.
Okay,
Kylie, do
I
you have
actually
Kylie, do you
did.
have any experience with these? Because you were very detailed.
Okay, so I actually did want to bring that up because one of my biggest complaints is authors writing books about piercings and then not describing what it feels like. And she is the one of the first authors that really describes what it's like. And I just want to ask her, I'm like, girl, who did you talk to? What did you do? Who do you know? Because you did a
Um,
really good job.
it's like I was there.
It reminds me of when we were talking with what's the other author we interviewed?
Liv Xander.
Liv Xander, and she was talking about how like part of being an author is like getting out into the world and interviewing people, like going to sex clubs or like going to bars and just like meeting people and asking them really personal questions. And every time I think about authors trying to do research for sex scenes, I think about that interview. And I'm like, okay, so who do you know? Who did you go to? How did you ask these questions to get it right?
Look, I'm blushing. It looks like I'm blushing over here. But it was very detailed and I mean, I remember being like, "Oh my God, I can't wait till he whips it out. Oh my God, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it." And then he brought it out, and I was like, "Oh, the Holy Grail!" Oh, some railroad tracks for you.
Yeah, I really do like their love story, Arabella and Merrick, and I'm glad that they got together and it was just the amount of spice that I needed. It was great.
Their backstories are very sad.
Yeah,
Poor
you know,
Arabella.
did you read that part where she talks about their backstories a little bit in
Hmm.
her author's note? Yeah. Um, she's really good at writing trauma for sure. And um, yeah, sad, sad, sad. No one in the series is like everyone in this series is super traumatized. So much
I mean,
trauma.
it is just completely fucked up. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I remember like towards the end when they were at the temple and Merrick was like, or Arabella was like, it feels weird, or she was listening to other people and they were like, feels very off. This place feels very strange. Like they were complaining about like getting like this feeling, I guess like gut feeling, or I don't know. Um, I forgot all about that, and now I have lots of questions and I'm ready to read the next book. But yeah, so
Yeah.
also that chair finger scene. Not really my cup of tea, but man, that was hot.
Totally my cup of tea. I was into it.
I
Like,
was I was like, oh my God. It's just what? I was like, hold, but I mean, she fondled she she did stuff. It was great.
it was great. Get it, girl. Like, yeah, I really like them together, and
Mhm.
I highly suggest this book. Go read it. That's my summary.
Yes,
If you like, if you like smutty, spicy books, go for it.
but with good plot.
Yes, but definitely read the first two
Yes,
first,
yes, yes. Because
or
this
you won't
one
get
would
it.
you would just be like, what?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.